Hi, welcome to Bro Tunes. My brother and I were huge Star Wars fans, and we got a new trailer today, so we're gonna talk about it. Not only did we get a new Star Wars trailer, but it's the 20th anniversary of Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. Backstreet's back. Forever. Now, we're not gonna do a trailer reaction, there's lots of those on YouTube already, and hopefully by now you've seen the trailer. Okay, so the new Star Wars was revealed to be called Rise of Skywalker. So that raises a lot of questions. Does that mean Rey is a Skywalker and she's rising to become this really big figure that we've never seen before? Or are they resurrecting Luke? So we don't really know what's going on. A lot of people want Rey to be a Skywalker, and a lot of people speculated that she was going to be a Skywalker since the beginning. Personally, I've never rooted for her to being a Skywalker. I always wanted her to be something separate. And as far as we got, with the two movies that we got, we have nothing on her. Unfortunately, looking at this trailer, I didn't feel very much seeing Rey, because I've got nothing. I don't feel much for her. I like that she has the childlike faith. I like that she's a loyal friend. She seems like a nice person. But other than that, like, I've got nothing. I don't really care about her that much. As far as The Last Jedi, because, The Last Jedi, I'll be real, I didn't like it. And it kind of put a weird taste in my mouth, just how everything was set up. Like what they did with Luke, and what's going on with Kylo Ren and everything else. I actually have little expectation for this next movie. And that can be good. That can also be bad. That puts a lot of pressure on this next movie, because I feel like the last movie was kind of messy. And I truth be told, I don't really like what they did. So let's talk about the trailer. So the first shot we see is Rey. And my initial thought is, because this is supposed to be in the future, right? It's not like the last movie where it was right after the movie before that. So we see a shot and we clearly see Rey with Anakin's lightsaber, and I think they're really pushing the significance of this Jedi weapon, and even the movies before that, they're really pushing the significance of this, and she is still holding on to this, even though it's been chopped in two. I'm going to assume it's not a replica. I guess she had it repaired. She took it with her. Yeah, I thought it was weird. I thought maybe Kylo Ren took the other piece, but maybe I'm not remembering correctly. But I don't think they showed us them ever even acknowledging the broken lightsaber. So she has Anakin's lightsaber, which I think they're really trying to push a hint. So maybe she is connected somehow. To be honest, I was actually hoping to see her own lightsaber, because if we're led to believe that time has passed and she's kind of trained herself, because she's got the books now, I was really hoping to see some real training with her and Luke in the last movie, but that was a little bit disappointing. We were always led to believe that the ways of the Force are, to use it correctly anyway, takes discipline. So that's what's interesting to me about the character of Rey versus Luke, because, like I said, she has this childlike faith. There's actually religious context to the whole childlike faith thing, but the fact that Luke had a harder time with it, and he was a little more stubborn, as we saw in The Empire Strikes Back, and because he lacked faith, he couldn't get it right away. And, of course, he made the foolish decision with only having so much training from Yoda and a little bit from Obi-Wan, going up against Vader, and that ended up very messy. With Rey, the similar thing happened, except she didn't get training at all, so it's a little bit weird. I don't know if they're putting that emphasis on childlike faith. Maybe, maybe not. It's just a hunch for me. So I really don't know what they're going to do next. I don't know if they're making her just really powerful for no reason. And that's a gripe with a lot of people. I don't want that to be so. I don't want her to just be, like, randomly powerful and with no reason.
But we'll see. We'll see how it all ties in. I'm not like 100% grossed out just yet. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But with that childlike faith element, I had defended her in the previous movies. The first one anyway, where the Force was calling out to her, and she believed in herself, and she believed in the Force, and so she trusted the Force to carry her, and she was able to use the Force in that area. And now in these movies, with her having the lightsaber, again, I think it's really trying to push a clue or an idea that she might be connected, which might be able to help the idea that she is so powerful in the Force. Since we did have the trailer where Luke was like, the Force is strong in my family, and you have that power too. That was just in the trailer, but if they do that, that kind of gives us, I guess, an excuse to why she was so powerful right off the bat. Which, I mean, like we were saying before, we were kind of disappointed with the lack of real Jedi, training or Jedi boot camp. I was hoping to see Jedi boot camp stuff, but we didn't really get that. And again, just carrying Anakin's lightsaber. See, I was kind of hoping that she would have her own at this point if we're advancing it in the future, and she's supposed to be have some kind of significance in Jedi status, if you will. And having your own lightsaber is kind of an initiation into being a Jedi, from my understanding. So, yeah, so I wish that she had her own weapon at this point, but again, they're really emphasizing this lightsaber.
Yeah, like maybe it belongs to her.
Yeah.
Like it was meant to be. A lot of people were speculating that she would end up with a double-ended lightsaber because of her bow staff.
I wouldn't have minded.
I wouldn't have minded. That would have been kind of interesting. She's like spinning this stick around and she ends up with a double-ended lightsaber. But maybe they just want to keep that for Darth Maul. There's a very specific fan base who really dig Darth Maul, so yeah. So with that being said, there's a lot of people. Well, I guess it would be across the board in all movies, especially with what my brother just said. As far as the trailer from, was it the last movie or the movie before that where that was said? That was like the first one, right?
I'm lost now.
I think it was the first one.
I think it was the first one.
Yeah. which it never showed up.
It has to be the first one.
It never showed up in the movie, which raised a lot of questions. And they didn't answer that in the last movie, and it wasn't in the movie. So now it's like, okay, well, is she or is she not a Skywalker? And if she is, who does she belong to? In the books, truth be told, I'm the type of fan who believes that the movies should tell the stories and not needing to have to like read a book in order to learn about something that we need in the movie, or need to know, sorry. If they invented that Luke had some kind of lover and that he hid Rey for some reason, I don't know, like that doesn't bother me that much. I said earlier I'm not really a fan of her being a Skywalker. Ultimately, I kind of don't want her to be a Skywalker, truth be told. But if Luke had a child with somebody, I think that would be kind of interesting. I always kind of had this thought that perhaps she does belong to Luke, and for some reason he hid her. But this is all depending on the age gap between Kylo and Rey, because assumingly they're like 10 to 15 years apart, but maybe not, I don't know. Maybe Luke saw something in Kylo Ren which caused him to want to hide Rey. Let's say Kylo Ren already was showing signs of turning to the dark side or something like that, and Luke got somebody pregnant and then hid Rey. But then, like I said, we don't know the age difference. Maybe their age difference isn't that significant at all. But yeah, there's a bunch of different ways you can see how perhaps she's a Skywalker. Maybe she all along belonged to Han and Leia, But I would
I
I
don't
feel
I don't think they're gonna go
I
there.
think that's really awkward because she's met them and they had no remarks.
I don't think they're gonna go there.
At the same time, like, she's grown up and they, you know, they don't necessarily, like, they may have not recognized her. They really put emphasis on the Force in a bunch of different areas in Star Wars, so maybe her and Leia would have had a Force connection. I understand that Leia is actually in this movie. She's in the trailer.
Yes, she
But
is.
they're kind of reusing footage that they didn't use. So I don't know if maybe they will have a Force connection. Are you my daughter? Or something like that.
I don't think they're gonna go there.
Again, I don't want her to be a Skywalker. I want her to be someone completely different. I'm not rooting for everything being so ironic as everything seems to already be. And I'm not really for that. So, yeah.
Like trying to come up with something new.
I want something new.
They did give us some fan service. We got to see Lando back in the cockpit of the Falcon with Chewie. I really enjoyed that. I was excited. And I think I, like many others, are excited to see him going back into what was supposed to be his ship. And flying around with Chewie and doing their thing over again. I hope to see how he can kind of give light to shed some light on the older characters since he was close friends with them. I've always hoped that he could maybe through him bring some flashback scenes of Luke.
Tell some stories. Yeah, I want to see maybe flashbacks of Luke's glory days.
Yeah.
They talk about how he's this legend, and
I mean, it is the last movie, so we're not getting Luke Skywalker ever again. So it would be nice to get some sort of light shined on.
yeah, hopefully it's not wishful thinking, but I would really like to learn more about Luke in the glory days.
Yeah.
I mean, I really want them to emphasize of, you know, when Luke took down the Empire, which obviously was causing the galaxy suffering and pain and what have you. So I want to see Luke in his glory days, taking down the Empire, cleaning up the galaxy, seeing the galaxy in peace for that little while before Kylo Ren came about. So we don't exactly know the years and how, like, the longevity of this period before Kylo Ren basically turned his back on Luke and everything like that. But hopefully it's not wishful thinking to see that. I feel like it would make up for getting rid of Luke the way that they did. So hopefully we'll see that. But
then, of course, we see some more battle scenes. We get the crew together. I heard that we're going to get more of an adventure from the other members of the cast, which I look forward to that. I think they were kind of wasted in the last movie.
yeah, Finn had the Finn thing in the last movie. It was just like I don't think very many people cared about what was going on. He was such an interesting character in the first movie, I felt, but then they just didn't have very much for him in the last movie, I feel like.
I definitely think that they could have taken him to interesting angles, especially with his backstory. And now he's got a new chip on his shoulder after getting brutally beaten by Kylo. So, but I wonder how they're going to include this whole adventure, and who are they going to be up against now? Because, they've kind of established that their big enemy is dead, which it's at this point it's probably a mistake to have done that, because I think now that they've handed over the Star Wars back to JJ, I think they kind of scrambled up his plan, right? The story. It
didn't feel like it was going to go like that.
No,
honestly.
it's kind of got flipped over, and so they killed off Snoke. Which, I mean, when I saw that, I laughed. I thought that was kind of funny. It didn't bother me that much, but now with the narrative change,
it still doesn't bother me that much. I can see why it would be a problem. The one thing that I have a problem with is they never fully explained who he was.
I guess they have to do that.
They didn't build him up at all. He showed up. He wasn't in the first movie that much, and we learned like a little bit about him, but still not very much. So they have a lot of explaining to do. I think it's interesting because nobody would have expected for him to die like that. People were probably expecting Luke to face off with him. So, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind that they killed him off like that, as long as they give more of an explanation of who he was and some kind of story about him. Like I said, there's a lot of pressure on this last movie because the movie we just got a couple years ago, it didn't really hit the mark for a lot of people. There wasn't a lot of explanation. The story was kind of weird. It was just a movie of a lot of things happening, and it didn't really advance anything all that much. The most interesting part of the movie to me and to a lot of people was when Kylo Ren offered Rey to just restart. When he offered her to just, like, let's leave it all behind. We can just restart, just you and me. And
Which could have made an interesting movie.
yeah, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah.
Could have been an interesting angle, but I guess it's too late. They can't really go there now. We did get to see Leia hugging Rey. Obviously, they're probably going to have to do a send-off for her. Perhaps she's
Cut
going
it
to...
short.
Yeah, or perhaps she's gonna die, or whatever they're gonna do with that. So that's definitely gonna be sad, but at least they're carrying her role on into the next movie, trying to get some of her in there. Very curious because how are they gonna put that together? I guess the fact that they did it, I guess they had to have been somewhat successful in doing that, but. Yeah, it was nice to see Leia again, and knowing that she has a role in the last film. I'm still very curious about Luke. The title is Rise of Skywalker, right? So, I mean, again, we're probably getting clues to another Skywalker as a play on words, which I feel like that's at this point that's kind of a thing that they're gonna do.
I don't know, man, because at this point, it's so there's only like two options basically. It's either Luke, for some reason, resurrects, or as a Force ghost does something big and epic or something like that, or Rey is a Skywalker.
Or yeah, it's kind of like his name. Do you know what I mean? Like his name's going to be lifted. Like I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know. I'm almost thinking that Rey is a Skywalker ultimately.
But what I'm hoping for is that they give, again, this is the last Skywalker film, and I'm really hoping that they give Luke a proper send off and ending this series, and I don't know how they're gonna do that. That's why when I saw Skywalker in the name, it kind of made me excited because I guess they're giving Skywalker relevance.
I didn't know if I was excited or not. I felt really torn because, like I said, I don't want Rey to be a Skywalker.
But is it really going to be that bad?
I don't know. I kind of don't care anymore.
I don't think that destroys...
I'm just kind of letting things be at this point. Whatever.
I don't think that really destroys the narrative. I'm not as down as you are.
I'm more rooting for her to be a Skywalker than all the people who are like, make her a Kenobi, make her Kenobi.
No, the Kenobi
I was against
stuff,
that too.
like,
people,
Kenobi's old.
It's funny. I'm like against so many things that people are saying, like this and that. And Darth Plagueis. I was like, no.
Okay, well, since we're at connecting things, now this is something what really caught attention to my brother and I is we definitely hear Emperor Palpatine laugh at the end. And so, I mean, the whole trailer was fine to me. I'm like, okay, we get Rey doing that cool backflip to take out to the TIE fighter. I think that's cool. We haven't seen someone attempt to take out a TIE fighter Jedi fashion. I'm excited for that. So I had watched a few videos and people seem to be excited about this whole Palpatine thing. I saw at the Star Wars Celebration, they heard the laugh and people were excited about that. And then the actor who plays the Emperor comes out and he's like, "Roll it again," in his Emperor voice. And everyone's like, "Yay!" No. And then my reaction was like, are they really gonna go there?
I don't want him back. I want him dead. I want what took place with Return of the Jedi with Vader throwing him over. That's it. That they close that chapter.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much more impactful. That scene, like the Return of the Jedi, everybody remembers that.
Yeah. So like that's something my brother and I we're a lot of Star Wars fans love trying to connect things. Like they really wanted Snoke to be Darth Plagueis. I was like, no, absolutely not. No. See, that Darth Plagueis stuff, that was a prequel thing, and it worked in the prequels. It should stay in the prequels. And some people were like, "Oh well, if we have Palpatine again, then maybe he had a clone. You know, I know the books touched on that, but I
This
personally
is
don't
too
want that.
much.
The Clone Wars was relevant. I mean, cloning and clones was relevant to the Clone Wars, and it should stay in the Clone Wars era. Like, let's not touch that. Or having a Palpatine just come back, like, or he never died. Like, never died.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know, but just having him come back, it's like, no, he was a part of the narrative of the originals, and he should stay there. And I, like other people, have already sort of gotten to small discussions with other Star Wars fans, is that they're really trying to just throw narratives of the old films into the new Star Wars films instead of coming up with something new. When Snoke died, I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually liked that, because I thought the movie was telling us that the story doesn't have much to do with him. The story is on Kylo and how he's going to change things. And then we got to see in his mind a little bit on how he wants to destroy everything he ever knew and create something new. He was almost like a revolutionary thinker of sorts, and creating his own movement in the Star Wars universe. He's not a Jedi or Sith. He's something new. And when he gave his hand out to Rey, they could have started a new movement, and maybe this is something that Luke had to deal with. Again, this is getting into Last Jedi stuff. I do want to make a video on my opinions on The Last Jedi. I know it's been done to death. I've never had my opportunity to do it, so stick around for that if you want to see. I do want to make that soon, because I feel like they could have done a lot with that movie, and I think they misused some of the opportunities. But we're getting... I don't know how they're going to have the Emperor come into this, because we got that laugh, which means he has to do something in this movie.
Maybe he'll show up in a vision.
Is it just a presence of some sort, like the presence of evil, or...
I don't know if Siths can become Force ghosts. I'm not that knowledgeable. We've never seen it. But,
I mean, he's always talked about defeating death, and...
in the prequels, yeah.
But this is the thing. So if Kylo's the bad guy in this movie, why would he even pursue Sidious? I mean, he is a fan of Darth Vader, but if he's not a Sith, why would he even care about Palpatine? Is it just because he cherishes the dark side?
Maybe.
And that's it?
Maybe
Or he's friends with his grandfather?
Maybe the spirit of Palpatine is going to try to lure him in to try to get him to do his deeds.
So maybe the dark side is taken over so much of the galaxy at this point. It's just all around dark and grim. There's a lot of death. Yeah, maybe the presence of him will show up. You know how the Force is. But him physically just coming back like, ha ha ha, I was never dead. I know.
No. He's oh man.
I'm getting a lot of people saying that.
I would be really pissed if he wasn't dead.
Because, well, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that that robs the experience and the climactic moment that happened with Darth Vader. Like, of
course it does.
Like it didn't mean anything.
No, like I wanted that to close a chapter. That closed the chapter, and when they brought it, when like hearing his laugh, like
just kind of destroyed.
Yeah, like my heart.
If the trailer didn't have that laugh, if the trailer didn't have that laugh, I feel like my whole feelings would be different. Because it's like, okay,
yeah, but
there's Palpatine.
The thing is, there's a very
originals.
specific type of really loud fans that want that.
I know,
like Palpatine, yeah,
like, oh, that's cool. No, I'm so not on board.
No.
I don't think we should be creating a brand new narrative with a whole new spin, but we're clearly not doing that, and I don't know why. And apparently, we're not going to have Star Wars movies after this for a while.
People were also speculating that Hayden Christensen, however his last name is pronounced, Christensen, is coming back to. I don't even want Obi-Wan back.
No, I don't want
anybody back.
No, keep the old movies reasonably self-contained and stop transferring things over. Of course, they're going to get some things transferred over.
I don't think it makes a new trilogy better.
No,
it just makes things awkward, and it's just too sensitive. It's just too sensitive.
And I think so far that's one of people's biggest problems, is that they feel like they're not doing anything new, and they're trying to put older themes back in, but not doing it as good. I think that's what people are. But I mean, I'm not trying to be down on this next movie. I hope that I appreciate that it's back in the hands of J.J. Abrams, since he started this whole thing. He had a vision, and he's going to be the one to complete it. And I really hope to see the Knights of Ren, actually, because they didn't touch on them basically at all.
I thought Luke was gonna fight him off in a cool fight, but maybe they're just gonna make Rey do that.
Yeah,
now,
I thought they would
disappoints me.
They would send the Knights of Ren after Luke, right? And then he'd have to fight them off.
Yeah,
sometime.
I thought there was gonna be a cool fight scene with him and the Knights of Ren. That's what I was really hoping for.
That's what should have happened, actually.
This is what I'm just gonna say it. Everybody cares about Luke, man. Nobody cares about Rey. Nobody cares about. Okay, that's an overstatement. But like I said, Luke is the heart of Star Wars. Everybody guaranteed cares about Luke. That's what I'm saying. Everybody who goes into the movie theater to watch, it's almost guaranteed that they care a lot about Luke. But I don't feel like we got what we deserved, or what he deserves rather, in the last movie, and I don't know what they're gonna do with him in this movie. I'm not gonna full on say that I'm not turned off by this next movie. Like, I'm not gonna go in and be like, nah, I'm not gonna like it. I'm just saying how I feel at this point with everything. Maybe I'll like it, but
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm excited because of Star Wars.
yeah, I mean, the original trilogy is like, those are like my favorite movies.
Well, I mean, the Star Wars saga anyway. As far as the spin-off films, yeah.
Like, I've never seen Han Solo. I think it was dumb that they even made that movie.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Rogue One was cool.
Rogue One was good. I liked it. Rogue One, but I mean, I'll be honest. When it comes to like the lineage of the Jedi and trying to fight for galaxy justice or whatever, I don't know. I think that's really the interesting tale as far as the Star Wars narrative, which is the Skywalker movies. So I guess that's all we got. That's our just opinions of the trailer after watching it today.
Just blabbing about it.
Just blabbing about it, and hopefully you enjoyed whatever this was. Kind of long, but yeah.
Also, we'll see if the Wilhelm scream returns.
Yes, please return.
Why did they not have it?
May that remain just that dark time where they didn't implement the Wilhelm scream.
It's so random. Like, imagine in the future, they don't do the panning shot or whatever after the crawl.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
But I mean, after these movies, they got to do it fresh, I guess. It's probably not going to be the same experience.
I don't want them to make any other movies.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Don't kill the Star Wars
the thing
idea.
is, they want to milk the crap out of this thing now that it's in the hands of Disney and just make money.
It is true. Like, imagine if they just ended Star Wars.
I don't know.
Maybe make TV shows instead of full-on movies.
It might just contaminate like the movies and stuff. Ultimately,
we have the originals.
Yeah, we have the original. That's what I was gonna say. We have the originals.
Those were the classic Star Wars.
You can just rewatch those movies and be like, yeah.
I mean, they make so many movies of other different titles and franchises and whatever, and you'll always have the ones that counted.
Yeah, but who's to say? Who's to say? Maybe if they make spin-off movies, it'll make for good movies.
Yeah, like I don't mind seeing the adventures of like runaway Jedis after the Order 66.
And yeah, there's so many rumors about Obi-Wan having a movie or a show or something like that. I mean, that could be cool.
That could be interesting. Could be interesting.
Maybe they can try to fill in some gaps, like Obi-Wan telling Luke that Anakin wanted Luke to have his lightsaber when he was old enough, even though there was zero mention of that.
Well, I guess. Well, my idea was that he said that to persuade him. Right?
Yeah, but no, I don't like that.
He really wanted him to be a Jedi.
That's Snape. That's Snape.
Remember,
so Obi-Wan is all of a sudden this sneaky guy.
Well, yeah, because in the other movies he's like, you are our only hope. Remember? Like he was counting on it.
No, but that was obviously not the reason in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would it's still contained in the originals.
Like what if Obi-Wan finds like the remains of like Anakin and Padme's belongings, and he finds like a diary or something like that, like an iPad looking diary,
yeah, like
futuristic diary.
I really wanted my son.
I really wanted my son to have this lightsaber. Oh man,
Anakin's diary.
There's so many messed up things at this point.
Yeah. So, want to just end it now?
Fine, whatever.
It's gone on so long. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. Again, I do want to make a video about The Last Jedi and my opinions on it. I've already started writing down ideas, and again, I know it's been done so many times, but I just want to do it. And yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd like. We do a lot of cartoons and things of that nature. We do a cartoon music videos, which is I think some of our greatest videos. And sometimes we just do random videos like this where we talk, do whatever we want because it's our channel. Just do whatever we want. And if you did stick around for this whole thing, thank you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace and love.